Hi everybody, my name is Clara Louise Park, and today I will be reading Superman's origin story. Wow, this is hard. Books are real hard. They say the universe began with a big bang. The same can be said for the life of a boy who would become known as Superman. In a distant part of the universe, the planet Krypton is destroyed. A lone rocket ship survives the explosion. On board this tiny spacecraft is a single passenger, a little baby a little baby named Kal-El. Kal-El holds tight to the blanket. His mother gave him the dreams of being held in her arms. When the rocket ship stops moving, the baby wakes up. Cold air fills his lungs. He opens his eyes. Two friendly faces are looking back at him. "We're keeping him," Jonathan says. The woman, Kal-El, likes her face. Her smile is warm. It is just like his mother's smile. "Oh, Martha," says the man next to her. "We don't know anything about this child. We can't just take him." Kal-El reaches out. He wraps his hand around the man's finger. Now Jonathan is smiling too. "What do you think of the name Clark?" asks the woman with his eyes open wide. Kal-El smiles at the woman. 16 years later, Kal-El is still smiling. His friends call him Clark now. He leads a normal life in a town of Smallsville,
Kansas,
or at least he did until one fateful day. Lana Lang tries to recite Week's poem from memory in front of the class. At the same time, Clark wonders what school is serving for lunch. Suddenly, he realizes he's looking right through the wall into the cafeteria. Whoa, isn't that cool? So cool. I wish I could do that. But super people, like super stuff, isn't real. "I think I lost my key," says Mrs. Owens. Mrs. Lancaster sighs again. Gladly, she asks, "I'll help you look for them." Clark is seeing into the cafeteria. He can hear the cook's conversation. It's like they aren't in the room with him. "Are you okay, Clark?" Mrs. Brown. Clark nods his head, but he knows that anything but okay. Later, the old barn door slowly creaks open. Jonathan and Martha Kent glance at each other, and they walk inside. Clark's parents seemed worried ever since Clark got home from school that day. He had told them what had happened at school. He had lots of questions for them. Now Clark would get some answers. Jonathan lifts up a dusty lid in a wooden box. Clark had never paid much attention to the box before today. Inside is a metal ship. It looks familiar to Clark, but he doesn't know why. "This is where we found you," says Jonathan. Clark doesn't know what to think. Then his father hands Clark a small box. It was the only thing that they had found inside the ship with Clark all those years ago. Jonathan and Martha never could get the box to work, but Clark's hands device lights up. Something that looks like an S fills the screen. Light from the object shines in Clark's forehead. For the world falls away around Clark. He no longer sees Smallsville. Instead, he sees planet Krypton around him. Clark watches a man named
Jor-El
and hands a young infant to his wife Laura. Oh, that looks really sad, right, Dad? Laura is crying. She is hugging the child tightly beneath their feet. The ground begins to shake. They both know they must say goodbye to their son. The baby, called El, is to survive, but they must leave Krypton. Jor-El and Laura place him in a rocket ship. The ship takes him off just as the world around it explodes. Clark opens his eyes. Smallsville is back. Jonathan and Martha can't watch. Clark comes back into focus. Clark looks at them. Then he runs out of the barn. He keeps on running. Clark doesn't notice that he is moving faster than normal. Soon he is dashing through the fields with super speed. Close the door, Holland. What were y'all doing? What are you doing, Mama? Okay, where was that? Okay. He doesn't even notice that his feet lift off the ground. He doesn't notice that he's flying until it's already happening. Wow. That's cool. A short while later, Clark returns to his family barn. Clark lands on the ground for a long moment, and then his parents just stare at each other, and Clark hugs them. Now he knows who he is. He knows where he came from. He knows what he has to do on planet Earth. Years later, Clark rides a train. His eyes are closed when he hears the conductor. "Clara, stop!" the man shouts. "Metropolis, everybody off!" Clark adjusts his hat and he steps off the train. He looks around at his new home. Clark left Smallsville to come to Metropolis. The giant city is very different from his small hometown. It is like no other place he had ever visited before, but Clark would not go sightseeing just yet. Sightseeing. I wonder what that is. Today, Clark's first day at his new job. He is a a reporter for the famous newspaper known as the Daily Planet. Everyone is so busy that they hardly notice Clark the Daily Planet. Clark's boss, Perry White, is too busy to hand Clark his first assignment. Instead, Perry introduces him to his new partner,
Lois.
Lane. Before Clark knows it, he's trying his best to keep up with Lois. Together they go to cover and press conference, and
For billionaire
Lex Luthor, he reveals his new robot. Clark knows about Lex Luthor long before he moved to Metropolis. I think Clark had studied Lex's life. The people of Metropolis think Luthor is a hero, but Clark knows better. Lex is an evil billionaire. He will do anything to make money. Whoa, money. Why would you want money when you can just have a giant robot that can do things for you? Suddenly, Lex's giant robot
malfunctions.
Luthor always tries to make money by cutting costs, so Clark isn't at all surprised. The crowd are too scared and too busy to notice Clark. He changes his outfit. The robot tries to attack a red-headed young boy, but Clark saves him. This is the moment Clark has prepared for all his life. He had been sent to Earth to protect others. Earth's yellow sun gives Clark's alien body extra energy. He gains the powers of super strength, super speed, and
invulnerability.
The metal robot doesn't stand a chance against the Man of Steel. Oh, I wonder what the Man of Steel is. The red-headed boy snaps photos of Superman in action. Superman! Lois Lane cries out. She is amazed by the new hero of Metropolis. Clark smiles. Then he soars into the air. He likes Lois very much, and he likes the name Superman too. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Yeah. Bye, people. Bye, my peeps.